live now. We live long time.
Oh, someone's here already.
Swigtuck. It's hard for me to read these things. I'm going to take my glasses off. Easy for me to read them. I'll put my other glasses on. Hello. Hello, 4 people.
Hello.
All 4 of you. Hello, all 8 of you. 24 of you. 41 of you. Here it comes. Hello. Here they come. Hello. Yeah. I just say hi, but I can't read your names. It's just much. I can't do it. I've got to be a sensible boy and drive my car. Sam can read.
Yeah. Haunted Coachman, Gail Holloway.
Haunted Coachman?
They're all here.
Yeah. Shall I be... It's classed as racist now, isn't it, when you try and do somebody's accent? It's like, hello, Matthew, how are you? So,
Alex, Liam, Kelly. Yeah, everyone's here.
Cool. So, is that Brandon Steinbach? Adam George? Hey. So, yes, everybody. Well, I suppose we'll start discussing what we're up to. We're going to see a location somewhere north of Birmingham, south of Manchester.
Oh, you got a $1.99 donation from Dennis. Thank you very much, Dennis.
Dennis, have I got you on pager service? Wherever I am, 24/7, there's a Dennis looking out for me with his 1.99s. Thank you, Dennis. So, yeah, I hope everybody's doing well out there. We had a bit of a sort of shit show the other day with security at the... I didn't give out the location when I was talking about it the other night, but it came out in, Carl's thing. I did a live stream with Carl last night, and because of that, I've told people the location that this crap happened at, and it was basically the Underground Ballroom, which is at is it Whitley Park, which is near Guildford in Surrey, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think. So you'll have to excuse me a minute because driving.
Craig Button said, Sam, can you get Matt to add him to accept him to your secret vault page on Facebook?
Yeah, sure. No problem. Yeah. Yes. I'm sorry. There's driving stuff going on. Which one was it again? Who was it?
Craig Button.
Can I accept it? What?
Your secret vault Facebook page.
Oh, okay. Yes, I should go and have a look at that, shouldn't I?
Oh, another $1.99 from Dennis.
Dennis, you're a 1.99 hero warrior.
He said, I've got the bell on low, here's a little more for some gas.
Thank you very much. Yeah, this is a long one today. Yeah, this is like this long. This long today. Yeah. It's going to be, what, total for me, 4.5 hours drive?
Yeah.
Right, now I have to do something on my phone because I'm not getting to see anything of where I'm going at the moment. So hang on a sec.
I can get the maps up on mine if you want, mate.
It's more if I split the screen and then I bring up maps like that, which should still show me, and I can move that down. And then that'll probably be okay. So, yeah. I can't see messages now because it's just so small.
John Lydiard said, when are you going crane climbing with Ali?
Not anytime soon. I would more than happily be a support crew, like driving, getting into buildings and helping out, and doing stuff like that. But yeah, I don't think I'd be up for the heights.
Oh, we got Living at Urban in the chat.
Hey, Mr. Luke. Heard about your care home with blood on the floor and weird stuff. So yeah, I hope to hear a bit more about that soon. So sounds like you had an interesting one there.
Yeah, that sounded crazy, man.
Yeah. But God, we had a hell of a time the other day in this place, Whitley. Went to go and have a look at the underground ballroom. Went there, and turns out that the security in there is incredible. And you know, we didn't even know it was abandoned. You know, being worked on, we thought it was abandoned. And so we get there, jumped over the fence, and just sort of like walked down through some forest, and got, you know, we could literally see the underground ballroom entrance, like we were there, just across from it. And straight away, you know, we'd only been in there like, what, 5 minutes? 5 minutes, and we had, boom, security pounced on us. And then, you know, they were okay with us, but they were, you know, being a lot of veiled threats. You know, they were like, it's what you call passive aggressive. It's like, you know, it's all right, mate, I'm your friend, but I've got a shotgun. But it's all right, you know, just a shotgun amongst friends and other weaponry I've got. We're all friends, aren't we?
I'll shoot down your drone.
Yeah. You know, I'll shoot your drone out of the sky. And I said, yeah, well, you'll lose your shotgun license, and then you'll be done for endangering an aircraft in flight. You know, and then you'll be done for criminal damage, and I'll get the money for the drone. So what's the point of that? And he said, and then he goes, oh yeah, but I'll have thought it was a crow. And I say, yeah, mate, we'll have to see whether the judge believes it. Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's like, but they were being all like, you know, we could F you up, basically, you know, but with a smile on their face. Yeah. So anyway, because we got rumbled, we left my big bag with some bits and pieces in it behind, and I thought, well, you know, we're going to try and come back in later on anyway, so I'll retrieve it then. So came back a bit later on, jumped over the fence, and to be fair, you know, I did say to Sam Jess, I said, look, you know, they were on us very quickly. I'll go ahead and see whether or not they are going to suss out whether we're going to be there, and I'll just go and get my bag. And you know, if they come, then you know, you're on that side of the fence, and I don't give a fuck. So sorry, bad language. So I went over the fence in a different place, crept tippy toe down with night vision. So you know, I wasn't using a torch, and it's passive night vision, so it doesn't give out any infrared at all. And within about 5 minutes again of leaping over that fence, on the way down, torch lights going everywhere through the forest, people shouting, you know, they're over here, and I'm just like, how do they know where we are? How do they know where we are?
They were an elite security team, definitely.
I mean, they knew they were, and it was annoying because they were on us, but what happened next really pissed me off, because they were a bit pushy, shovey, trying to trip me up and stuff, and you know. And I mean, one of the guys walking back with me was all right, but we had a conversation, and I said, look, mate, you know why we do it? We do it because we're into the photography, like, you know. And he's like, yeah, but it's somebody's house. And I said, it's not somebody's house. Yeah, it is somebody's house. You wouldn't like it if they did it in your house. And I'm like, but it isn't somebody's house. At the end of the day, it's like a 200-acre estate, you know, with like several mansions and all sorts of stuff. You know, it's like saying, you know, Alton Towers is somebody's house. It's not. It isn't, and it's a place that people do regularly try to sort of, you know, get into for a bit of fun. But anyway, I left the so this is the second time now. So I left my bag like that. Once they caught me, you know, I left my bag again, because I thought, well, I could run, you know, and I'll run and I'll be able to get away a bit easier if I haven't got the weight of the bag. So I'll come back and get the bag later. So I dropped a point on the map where I left my bag, like that, and then I went walking with him so he wouldn't have known where we'd gone, because it's quite thick undergrowth we were going through.
It was really thick. Yeah.
So he wouldn't have known where we would have gone, so that I could come back and pick up my bag a bit later on. So, you know, I was getting ready for a run, but it's like, next thing then, you've got two of them, and they're just being really arsey. And I said, oh, well, I'm going to walk back to my car, and they were like, no, you're not. No, you're not. You're coming with us.
What an officer.
Are we? Ah, okay. Ah, hang on. I mean, isn't it on voice? It should come out. should come out in a minute. Hopefully the voice will come out telling me which way I've got to go. But let's just get the map working a bit. Okay. Yeah, we'll see what happens. 2.4 miles. Right. So anyway, they said, like, you're coming back with us to control. And I said, no, I'm going back to my car. And they said, no, you're not, you're coming with us. And I said, no, I'm not. And they're like, yeah, you are, you're coming with us. And I said, no, you can call the police if you want, but I'm not coming with you. Because I don't go with security. I'm not going back to any security hut or where they can take the piss. And I'm glad I didn't, because they started taking the piss there and then. Right? I said, go on, call the police then, yeah? Call the police. Oh, yeah. And they were like, yeah, all right, then we'll call the police. And they weren't calling the police. And I was like, right, I'm walking this way. And this guy was like standing in front of me. So like, I moved to the right, he moves to the right. I moved to the left, he moves to the left. Why are you walking into me all the time? And I'm like, because I want to go past. Why are you standing in front of me so I can't walk past you? And he's like, I'm not standing in front of you, you just keep walking into me. Why do you just keep walking into me? And it's like, me. Oh yeah. So then I sort of like went to go around him, so he sort of like grabs me, puts my arm behind my back, and I said, no, that's assault. And he's like, no, it's not, I'm not assaulting you. He's like, pull away from him. So he's like, got my coat. And I said, right, so you want to rip my clothing now? So you want to criminally damage my clothing, assault? Oh yeah. So he comes to me then, and then he's like tripping me, like he tries to push me and put his foot around my foot, so I'll fall over backwards. So I fell sideways into a bush which had thorns and shit in it. And then, so I got up and I said, right, now that's definitely assault. I said, what if I'd fallen on the ground and cracked my head then? I said, this is assault, you're holding me against my will, it's kidnap. And he's like, we're not forced to hold you. I said, Bargy, there's a lot of quick shit going on. And anyway, I'm like, so I've got to walk away again. He goes, oh, you know, you're walking into me again. It's all this like bullshit. He's trying to pull all this shit at me. So I'm like, you know, I look and there's cars have come down the road now and they've stopped because of this stuff that's going on in the middle of the road. And so I basically went to the first car and I said, will you call the police? Like that. And he went, yeah, right then. And he puts his hand up to his ear and he's like pretending to talk into the thing.
Oh, you got £5 donation from 09 Anderson. Retribution next time, Matt. Kung Fu kicks.
I'll kill him. I'll kill him with kindness. I'll kill him with information. Yeah. I've had plenty of offers from people who've said, "Would you like us to go around there and kick the shit out of him?" And I was like, "No, that's not how I do business. No. Trespass, which is worse. Yeah. For anything being broken, right? Versus assault. I think you do film. And somebody made a good point the other night. They said you should have a body camera. Always wear a body camera.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I'm going to have to get one, but it's training me to remember to bloody wear it is the thing, you know.
Yeah.
So, hang on, let's see if I can get this thing. So you're just going straight on, I think, yeah. Anyway, so this, what happened then? So,
Well, while this was happening, me and Jess were curled up in a bush by the wall, and they were shining torches over us, looking for us. Probably a good 45 minutes or more we were hidden in this bush. They were literally stood like a metre away, we could hear them chatting, didn't find us. And then after a long time of hiding, they came back with thermal imaging and said, oh, there's the colour, we've got them, and they burst through the bush, and that was it then. We were caught as well.
Adamant that Sam and Jess had gone over the fence, but the thing is, I went over by myself. So when they said this to me, they said, we've seen you all jumping over the fence. I said, are you sure about that? And he goes, yeah, we got you on thermal imaging. And I said, you're 100% sure that 3 people jumped over the fence, right? Let's get this right now. 3 people, yeah? I said, because I've got footage, and my footage will show you that 1 person jumped over the fence, me. And they haven't come over the fence. He's like, well, where are they? And I said, well, you know, they've probably gone back to the car. I didn't even think they'd still be there. Now, whilst they were doing all this argy-bargy with me, I said, because they were starting to get aggressive with me, the security, I stopped recording for a second, and I sent a message. I said, get away, used car, something like that to Sam and Jess, yeah? Get away, used car, because I left my car keys with them in case anything happened, right? Because I'm the one going across. So what happens if I get stuck in there and they got no way to, you know, get help or get home? So I gave my car keys to them, you know. So anyway, so we've gone along. The police. Oh, that's right. I told you that this guy's put his phone up to his ear and he's pretending to call the police, but I realised after a while that it's like, hang on, that vehicle looks like the vehicle that actually took us out of the place earlier on. Me, Sam, and Jess. It's a flat back truck.
Yeah, it's like a pickup, blacked out pickup truck.
Yeah. So it was a pickup truck. So I went back up to the window and I looked at the guy, the bearded guy who took us out earlier on, and I said, mate, hang on. Ooh, I'm gonna have to shut this up, otherwise everyone's gonna work out exactly where we are. Yeah, that's not good, is it? You probably already know now. Nah, damn it.
Yeah, we still got a long way.
Yeah, we've still miles to go. Yeah. Anyway, that's another schoolboy error. Yeah. So this chap, I walked up to the window again, and I said, "You're one of the security. You're the guy who drove us out earlier on." He goes, "No, I'm not." I said, "Yeah, you are. You're with them." And he goes, I've never seen them before in my life," he said. And I'm just like, fuck you, you know. And it's like, so, you know, obviously he wasn't. So none of them were ringing the police. You know, they're all pretending to ring the police and saying they were going to ring the police. No, they weren't. They wanted to keep me there. And that is why I didn't want to go towards their security control place. They said, "Oh, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you, Mr. Williams? What's wrong with you, Mr. Williams? We just want to have a chat with you. We just want to have a chat with you." It's like, well, you can have a chat with me on the way back to my car then, can't you? You know, you just want to have a chat. But they didn't just want to have a chat. And that's why I won't go in with them. Yeah,
that's right.
So, you know, there's no way you're getting me in an enclosed space like that. And the bloke said to me, I said, "I'm filming everything." And he says, "I'll be deleting that." I said, "Well, you'll have a bit of a job, mate, because the memory card didn't come out of it. It's locked with the footage. You were not getting the footage." So, obviously, he knew he was on the back foot then because, well, here we are, right? That car was there. Nobody could get past this scene that was taken. Remember it. I heard one of the security guards saying to...
Oh, you got 79p from Tracy Jackson. Thank you very much, Tracy.
Thank you very much. Hope you're having a nice day. So, yeah, well, I heard one of them say something like, you know, they've gone away in the car. So, where's your friends? And I said, well, they must have gone in the car. And they said, yeah, the car's gone, or something like that, you know. They said, yeah, the car's gone. So I thought, oh, good, Sam and Jess have gone. But Sam and Jess hadn't gone, because Sam and Jess
were trapped in the bush, and they left one man on the outside just waiting, walking along the bush until they came back with thermal imaging.
So it's really weird that they said that my car had gone, and my car was just like about, I don't know, 200 paces further down the lane, which was weird. So, you know, and then the police came and they were going, yeah, the car's not there. And it's like, I don't think they actually knew which car we were in. They couldn't have, because, you know, like, the car was there and it was the only vehicle parked in the lane.
They obviously couldn't be bothered to walk down.
So I don't understand. There was some comment was passed about have you blocked the lane or something? Have you blocked the lane? And I think that's what that first car was.
That's what he's going to do.
He was going to block the lane so that, you know, vehicles couldn't enter or exit. He was going to use his vehicles to block the lane off. And that would have been interesting, because what I would have done then, if I'd have driven towards a vehicle blocking the lane off, I would have reversed, turned around, and then he would have been driving behind me, and then what's he going to do? Ram me? What would he have done, you know?
Oh, Liam Kelly with a £2.99. Here you go towards fuel. Thank you very much, Liam.
You know, and trust me, I'm quite an aggressive driver, right? I've got out of police chases in the past, and all I'm going to say is, because you wouldn't believe me if I told you, right? Some of it involved getting airtime in a vehicle. I got airtime, right, over police vehicles. It was like the Dukes of Hazzard.
Oh,
okay,
£4.99 from Tracy Jackson.
And
Thank you very much,
And I
Tracy.
bet you those police would love to know who we are to this very day. Yeah. So, yeah, if I told you, you wouldn't believe me. And I wouldn't want to tell you because, yes, I wouldn't want to identify what that event was. But trust me, I don't hang around in a vehicle. So, you know, blocking the lane off, that would have been a really bad move he could have made there. So, yes. Anyway, the point was, once there was a few cars behind this front vehicle, and I realised they weren't calling the police, I thought, oh shit, It's just bullshit. So I saw there were two girls in a car behind, and I just went to them, call the police, call the police, call the police, like that. And she went, all right, and she was like waving, she started calling the police. So at least I knew the police were on the way. When that happened, right, and they started calling the police, one of these guys then goes, yeah, go on, call him. And then one of the guys walks away from us and starts calling him, only because those girls were calling the police. Yeah, see? Only because somebody was actually contacting the police. They wanted to then, oh, we're going to call them as well. Yeah, right. Yeah, I know the games they play, these people. So
They wanted to get us back inside, didn't they?
they wanted to get us in their
environment.
environment so they could screw with us. Yeah, exactly. And one of them had a cut on his. Did you see it? The one with the cut on his eye.
He had a scar from up here all the way down to the bottom of his face.
He'd been cut or something, right? It looked like Frankenstein stitches.
Yeah.
In several places. It'd been pulled back together.
Like, sort of underworld sort of shit. But, all in black. They didn't have security badges, nothing like that.
He did say that one of the guys was ex-para.
Oh, right, yeah.
You know, I heard him refer to it as as ex-para or something. But they all seemed to me like they were quite, quite up for a fight. They were quite fighty, quite,
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Even when they were trying to be nice, they were being aggressive.
yeah. And this is the thing, see, it's all passive-aggressive stuff, and it's like they were going to do things and deny that they'd done them. They were going to ruffle us up and deny they'd done that. And in fact, they probably would have turned round, and said that we'd attacked them. Or, which is why, I filmed, because I needed that evidence, because, when the police came, he said, like, oh, I was, we were trying to sort of like withhold Mr. Williams not using any force. I said, oh, so what? Tripping me up and pushing me into a bush isn't using force, is it? And he said, I never tripped you up. And I said, well, you're a fucking lousy tap dancer then, aren't you? Yeah.
But the thing is, when they found us, which was after the police got to you, they were trying to be really nice to us.
Yeah.
So,
And of course the police arrive, and then they're trying to be all nicey,
That's
like,
it,
like the atmosphere completely changes. Which is why I don't want to talk to security guards. You got a problem? Call the police. Because we'll be out of there much, much faster talking to the police than we will to a bunch of security guards.
That's it.
So you never ever really need to speak to security guards. They're not your friends, And it's like, yeah. So that was the upshot of it. The police then weren't sure, like why Sam and Jess weren't there, and they said, well, why did you go back? And I just said, oh, I wanted to go in and see the place, but I wanted to find out whether it was possible to do it, at night. We got a better chance. So, and they said, yeah, but you shouldn't go back. You've been told not to go back. I said, I know that. I said, I'm not denying that. Bang to rights, like, yeah. Technically, it's what's known. If you don't know, right? If you go in once and you're told to leave, nothing they can do. You go back, it's classed as an aggravated trespass. Technically, they can prosecute you, yeah? But it's not necessarily the police's place to deal with that. That needs to be a private prosecution in many cases. So it's not always the police's place. But what the security guards often do, yeah, we've been dribbled on by the dog. What the security guards often do is they'll sex it up and say you've done something really wrong, like you're burglarizing or you've done some vandalizing, violence, or burglarizing. They'll normally say that to get the police to come out, because normally the police don't even want to come out for this stuff, yeah? So, but as I say, because they were being argy-bargy, I was, right, get the police. And then the police were like, well, why are you going in there? They didn't trust me, and it was just like, and I said, well, look, I've got a YouTube channel. The police's attitude sort of changed there. They were kind of like, oh, yeah, okay, fair enough, but we've got to check you out, make sure that you're not actually trying to burglarize the place. And I was like, fair enough. So they searched me, and, I thought for a moment they were going to arrest me. I thought they were going to do it, but I just, do you know how many, it's crazy, do you know how many police turned up, right? It must have been about 10 to 15 police. How many do you reckon were there?
There's a lot, definitely 10.
Yeah?
And they were undercover, weren't they? They were just dressed in normal clothes, and they had like tasers, all sorts of crazy stuff.
Yeah. Some of them were fully
They were
armed.
quick. They got there super quick.
It was unmarked police cars, fully armed, undercover police officers.
Oh, you got
right?
£1.99 from Chaos Dale, a little treat for Angel from Dale and Maria Gloucester. Thank you very much.
There were maybe three or four.
£5 from Baz.
No
for
way.
Petrol, hi Matt, Sam and Jess, and beautiful Angel. Hello Baz, how you doing?
Is that Baz Malkahi?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
He's the one that sent us the camera and stuff.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, nice one, man. Nice one. So, I mean, I was thinking, I'm going to end up getting arrested here, but then Sam and Jess turned up, and I said, well, because I didn't say anything at this point. I thought I'm going to let the security drop themselves in it, right, by saying
Yeah.
saying all three of them went in, and then I'll prove that it was just me. So I let the security cap, blah 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 blah, and then I said, see, they. There we are. Hey. So, right. Hopefully we're still connected. Yeah, somebody just tried to ring me then. So what happened then? So yeah, I let them say their bit, and then I said, I think you'll find you're wrong because these two never even went in. I said, so basically, your problem is with me, and it's like Sam and Jess, they're all right, so they kind of. Did they search you as well?
They searched me, but the weird thing was they didn't take my name, they didn't take my address, they didn't take any of my details, but they did with Jess. Really, really weird.
I think because it was established that they were on the outside. There wasn't.
£10 from Psycho 63.
Well, hey, Psycho 63. It says, "Hi, Matt, Sam, and for fuel money, keep her lit." Yeah, we will. We will. So, we got. I got searched properly. They took all my stuff, put it in an evidence bag. It was all cool, and I mean, I was, being chatty with the police officers. I basically said, I don't mind speaking to the police, but these guys were, they were pushing. And of course, we're not criminals, so it's obvious they're gonna.
That's the wrong turn in, mate.
Oh, what is that?
Yeah, it's just me that one like that.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh shit! I didn't even see that.
that's right.
It's because I was talking on the YouTube. Hang on a second now. I needed to be. Hang on a second. I needed to be bigger screen for this. I think.
Yeah.
Just do this. Right, sorry about that. I got screen issues here because I can't really have the YouTube thing going and navigate. It's just not really good. So, give me a sec. Give me a second. Let me sort this out. Oh, right. Hang on. Don't do that. Right. Stay there. Stay. And then maps. We okay? Oh, that'll do it.
Yeah, we're still going, man, yeah.
We're going, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Sorry about that. It started raining here in East Anglia. Nice. So where we go? We go over that way. So what happened then? So they kind of sized us up and they were chatting. They kind of said, "No, you're wasting our time by getting us into this." And I said, at the end of the day, it's like, I had to go and get my bag and whatnot, and that's why I was just sort of going back in there to see whether we could go in. And obviously the security's quite hot, and we're not going to be able to get in there. But I'm not going to try. I'm not going to be easy to give up in the same way as they're not going to be, easily letting us in there. It's like, we got to try. They're going to try. So, the police were like, right, okay, we're not going to detain you then, we're going to let you go. And I thought, shit, I'm going to have to go and get my bag now, and I'm going to have to go and find the bag. And then somebody come along and they said, oh, we've got your bag here. So those security had managed to find my bag. Remember? In the middle of
Jungle, it's like proper forest.
proper forest, jungly sort of thing. And it's a black, bag. And they've got, they managed to find it, probably on my back. And that would have shown up on the thermal imaging. Even that amount of heat of it just being on my back for that amount of time would have probably been easily visible to thermal imaging equipment. So, you know, the moral of the story is thermal imaging is a bitch.
They're not cheap, those thermal cameras.
No. If I'm not mistaken, the type of one he had, handheld, high quality, you know, you could be talking upwards to like 30,000, 40,000 pounds worth of kit there.
If they're a good one, a handheld one, they start at like 1,500 and just go up.
Yeah, and they're usually very low resolution, some of those
right.
ones, yeah. Really hard to see what you're looking at. You could be looking at a bird, you could be looking at anything, you know, anything that's putting off heat. So you've got to have a high resolution one to be able to know what you're looking at as a person. So, yeah. You alright, baby? We're good, Papa. Do you want to have a treaty? Let's get some treats. I've got some treats in my pocket. Oh, what a treaty for the puppy. Oh, yum, yum, yum. So, what's your thoughts on it, Jess? Imaging equipment, there's two ways. A plate of glass, it can't see through glass. It can't see through glass. You come out from underneath the heat blanket. If you would put a heat blanket over you, the air would still show up, but the heat blanket itself wouldn't reflect heat. You know, wouldn't bounce any heat out, so it wouldn't show. I'm not sure about that one though, but definitely glass. They're very hard to kind of, you know, countermeasure and get around. And, you know, these guys were definitely hot on our trail. So all I can say is, right, by doing what they did, they pissed me off, okay? By being, you know, trying to trip me up and stuff like that pissed me off. But, you know, I'm a big boy, yeah? I mean, I can look after myself, but I wasn't about to start flying punches at them and doing that sort of shit. I just wanted to, you know, wait for the police to come, basically, and wait to get to our destination. It's quite a long one, this. So anyway, the police let us go. They were cool. And I had to grab my bag, and the police actually blue lighted me down the road and gave me my bag back, which was kind of funny, but so it's like, you know, saved me having to go back a third time. But here's the deal, right? Yeah, imagine going back a third time, but at least my back was on the
right side of the wall.
It was on the right side of the wall this time, yeah. So, yeah, what do I, you know, initially I was a bit, you know, going on in the car when this had happened, right? You know, we were sort of like, you know, shit. And you think about it, and I'm thinking, I know what I want to do now, because I can't go back in there. But what I want to do is I want to piss that security firm off a little bit, right? Because ultimately, you know, had us to see what we wanted to see. So the fact is now, I ain't going to be coming back, you know, because I'm not going to be invited. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give them a little taste of my love, yeah, the way I like to do it, yeah. And it don't involve violence, and it don't involve vandalism, and it don't involve anything that's going to lose him any money, but it's certainly going to lose him a lot of face, yeah, and it's going to, right, and if they want to shoot it down, they can, because then they're going to open up a whole can of worms themselves, yeah. I'll be flying it legally at a legal height. I'm going to fly my drone up and down, up and down, and up and down. I'm going to map every inch with my zoom lens, every inch of that site, right? I'm going to film, it'll show all the roads, hopefully, some of the cameras, some of the lights, yeah? Everything. And I'm going to put that on the internet, yeah? So you, the community...
Oh,
hello? We're back.
Again.
We're back.
It's noisy.
Legally overhead, because they don't own the airspace after all. They do not own the airspace, and we will fully document that site, and we'll put it up on my channel simply for the purposes of other urbexers who want to go there, so you've got a good idea, the terrain, the ways in, the ways out, and I will mark where we had problems so you can avoid those places and you can try and get in yourself, yeah? And we will welcome the whole of the community to see if they can do a better job than we did.
Yeah.
And I've always considered myself not too bad at these things, but I did make a little mistake. Well, I kind of said to Sam and Jess, I said, I could park way off and walk in the long way, but it's going to take so much time. So I was a bit lazy, and I parked in the same place we did earlier on, and I went nearly a bit further down the way, nearly over the side of the fence as we did earlier on. That was a mistake.
But it's not. They didn't even know where the car was.
But they didn't even know where the car was.
They didn't even know where the car was.
But they didn't even know where the car was. They thought 3 people jumped over. So their thermal imaging may not be quite as good as we think it is. But they thought 3 people jumped over. But that's an assumption, you see. So they're assuming based on, you know, the lack of quality of their equipment. So, you know, how good is their thermal imaging, and how good it have they got infrared beam sensors that are telling them that people have come over the fence? Have they got little cameras? Are they, you know, what are they using? But people are going to have to find out. Now, I'm going to, again, legally, on the right side of the fence, I've got some tools which you've never seen me use before. And I think we should go back there, and I'm going to do a little video session on some tools, some counter surveillance tools I've got, yeah, which anyone can buy. But if you've never seen them used in the way I'm going to show you, you're going to not know. You're going to not turn it into a little. This is how you defeat security people like this, but without actually going over the fence, right? And we're going to have a great time, and it's going to be a major embarrassment and source of major for that company and Mr. Breckenboy. And when he says when he wants to call me a dick. This is the biggest dick you've seen, yeah, in a long time, mate, because I am going to now be the dick you called me. Yes. So which way are we going? Straight over. Oh yeah, of course. I'm talking so much I can't even look at my map. Right, and with that, and breathe. Yes. So yeah, we'll go back down there, and we'll legally, and I think we'll live stream it. Yeah, we will actually live stream it once we get there, right? So if they want to set their RGs, then they can say hello to the internet, you know? And it's like, yeah, we won't have to call the police because our live streamers will be doing it for us.
Baz just donated £5 towards some new windscreen wiper blades.
Yeah. And that's the windscreen wiper blades with Rain-X, which stops that noise that you think is bad. That's with Rain-X on there. Teflon. It's supposed to stop that noise. Yeah. So, yeah, well, that's, you know, I think you've always got to turn these, like, negative moments into a positive, you know, like, yeah, it was a negative one, but I'm determined to turn that into a positive one. Even if it's not for me, it'll be for somebody else, you know? Somebody else will be able to get those photos, get in there, and enjoy themselves, you know? And, you know, the only other option is to come and have a look at, which will kind of then probably take the need for people to be doing what we did, jumping over the fence. But, you know, maybe they like catching people and giving them aggro. But I think it would be a lot easier if they just allowed people to come and have a look at it, and then they wouldn't be doing what we're doing.
Yeah, that's it.
But I think whereas one of them said, he knows probably, yeah, this rich person who owns this is 200, mate, it's 200 acres.
And he doesn't even live
there. Yeah. So it's like, why are you taking it so personally? I said, it's just a job. And he goes, yeah, but it's like, I don't want to be having to do this. I said, well, you don't enjoy your job? And he's like, not really. And I'm like, what are you doing it for, you know? I said, well, I've got to put food on my plate for my children. And I'm like, yeah, but there's plenty of ways you can do a job. I said, I enjoy what I'm doing. If you don't enjoy what you're doing, don't be doing it. He goes, but I don't want to be out. This is on the film footage. He goes, I don't want to be out at night. I don't want to be out at night doing this. It's like, what? I got you out of bed, did I, to be here? No, you're already here, mate. There's about 11 of them. 11 security bloody people milling around, yeah, at night for one little estate, right? So I think something's going on there.
Something's definitely going on there. You never see security teams like that.
There's too many of them. There's too many of them there. I mean, and what are they trying to guard? You know, you've got a few entrances and a few exits.
Well, it's weird that the person that owned it before was also so protective and ended up shooting someone with a shotgun.
Yeah. the
Now
guy,
they're really protective as well, so something's definitely going on there.
they're overprotective. The guy, as you say, the guy who was there before ended up shooting a teenager. He tried to run Dan Dixon and Carl off the road in a Porsche Cayenne.
Yeah, he actually
Yeah.
almost hit Steve Ronan.
Almost hit Steve Ronan. Steve jumped into a bloody lake and was ducking down like by the lake in the water, like you know, probably nearly up to his neck in water, like, you know, to try and hide from this guy. You know, something like that. I mean, I'm probably not getting all the details
Yeah, he
correct.
did get in the lake, yeah, he did.
Yeah,
Like,
and you know,
victims of war.
Dan is not an easy person to spook, but if Dan's saying this guy tried to run him over and kill him, then I would say, you know, Dan is not exaggerating there. Yeah. So anyway, what happened was some kids, teenagers, went in to try and see the ballroom like we did. This guy got a hold of him and shot one of them in the leg with a shotgun. Now, he wasn't the only person to get done for that. His missus was
His wife went to jail as well.
his wife went to jail as well because she was conspiring in him going up there with the shotgun, and she didn't attempt to stop him in doing it. So she was part of the, you know, it's like acting like a gang then. If 2 or 3 or 5 people go together and one person gets assaulted, the whole 5 get, you know, in on it. So they get prosecuted the same way. So basically, she was party to that, and she got put in jail too. So the thing is, we all thought that this place was abandoned, that this guy was in jail, so therefore now's the best time to go and have a look at it. So we go up, who like a little bit of argy-bargy, you know, and like messing people around. So what have they got? Because if it's a building site, who gives a toss? Yeah. So what if it's a building site? Yeah, and they're just building stuff. Are people going to be able to nick their JCBs and their tractors and their things? You know, those are expensive tools, I know, but are they going to be able to nick them? No, they're not. Why? Because there's only one road in and one road out. You know, it's kind of like all the other exits are blocked. There's one road in, one road out. So how is anyone going to steal anything? Need 11 security guards walking around all night long. You know, why do you need that? Yeah. What's the purpose? It's because there's something there. What is it? What's there? I'm interested now, and I'm hoping the rest of the Urbex community are kind of interested too. What is it? What is there? You know, and if you think that, you know, maybe that is what goes on, and maybe that is a normal amount of security people, then I agree. Now, that wasn't our primary location that we went there for. We went for a place called it's right next to Paddington Green.
No, it's a police station.
The police station. It was a police station right next to Paddington Green, and I think it's called Paddington Green Police Station. It was the anti-terrorist place, and it's where they would take the most serious terrorists. Now, they had their cells were like a bunker, and they had like anti-gas, anti-chemical sort of, you know, it was a wartime Cold War bunker, police cells apparently, very, very highly secured. Now, it just so happens that a load of anarchists said, well, and they were inviting any live to come and take over this. It must be a 15-story building.
It's huge, isn't it?
Absolutely huge. Probably no mobile phone towers for a little while, but anyway, we were in London. This building had been occupied by the anarchists, and it took something like between 50 and 100, I can't remember, I'm going to say 68 is the figure that just jumps into my mind for some reason. 68 bailiffs to come and evict them all out of this building, right? And then they secured the building. So how many security guards did a big building that had an anarchist takeover in the central of London, right? How many security guards do they need to make sure that building doesn't get reoccupied? How many? How many would you think?
Well,
Yeah?
wasn't
It wasn't many.
Well, when I was there, I only seen that one guy with the dog van, that was it.
Okay, there was one guy with a dog van, there was one guy in the front of the building that I saw, and there was another guy around the side. That's 3. So there were 3 people for a big building in the central of London that had been recently occupied by a load of anarchists, yeah? 3 security guards, yeah? There were 11 on this estate. 11. And they looked like they were probably a lot more highly trained than the ones that were on that building in the central London, yeah? So what I'm saying is, what's there? what's there on this estate.
I'm starting to think that they're not even security guards, because you said it to him, didn't you?
I said it to him and he got pissed off.
I reckon they're just hard protection, sort of under criminal shit, man. It's got to be.
When I show you the video, right, I'm going to put the video up. When you see the video, right, it's a key moment. I could see in his eyes, he got pissy with me because I called him a security guard, yeah? But what else would I call him? He's a security guard, isn't he? You know, he's standing in front of me with his night vision on, but I said to him, I said, come on, you know, what's the problem? You're a security guard. And he looked at me like, and I said, what, you're not a security guard? What, security officer? You know, well, I said, you don't own the place, do you? And he said, well, you don't know that. And I said, well, do you own the place? And he said, I'm not saying. And I'm like, so you're a security guard then? But he had this attitude. You could see it a mile away. He didn't like being called a security guard. Sorry, Jess.
To, like, correct you, but then
He wanted to correct you, but he didn't say anything, like, when I...
Yeah,
He wanted to say something. Look here at some of this, but what I'm trying to get at here, if this guy wasn't a security, who was he? Hello, Papa. Oh, good Papa. She's pushing into me. She's like really, really pushing me. What's the matter, baby? Do you want to go and have a wee or something? She'll let you out in a minute. Okay. Maybe she wants some water. She's got some water, she?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. So if you piss somebody off by calling them a security guard, it's because prior to this job as a security guard, he was something better.
To be honest, mate, I don't even think he's a security guard now, because they didn't have the lanyard, the card. We should have asked him black.
But I think you only have to wear SIA if you're dealing with members of the public. You know,
Is it?
I think so. Yeah. But I mean, was this guy in the army? Maybe he had a higher rank, and he liked to be called sir. You know, I've met people like this before. You know, they used to be fucking arseholes in customs and excise who were like, you know, fucking hierarchical orientated. You know, so you know, was he an ex-police officer? You know, no longer in the force. Maybe he got sacked, and maybe he's pissed off about that. Maybe he's got a chip on his shoulder. I don't know. Or maybe he is somebody who thinks he's better than a security officer. Maybe he sees himself as higher than. Or maybe they're not your normal security team. They're like ex-military, you know, guerrillas for hire, you know.
That's what it is, mate, definitely.
Yeah. You get these types, what do they call them? Like Blackwater and these sorts of things. They're like private military for hire, yeah? But if they're private military for hire, again, what are they doing? Are they acting like a private security force for some rich billionaire who's got something on that site, or what? Because, you know, maybe they're not acting like security guards would normally act, you know?
Someone said, sounds like you came across a Russian money laundering outfit.
Yeah.
Could be something like that.
Yeah. At a building project, you know, and it should only cost, you know, 10 million, but they'll make sure it costs 180 million, because that way all the money's washed, you see? It costs as much as possible, because the people they get in, the businesses they get in, are overcharging them and then cleaning the money and giving it back to them, you know? That's what money laundering's about. So they don't like people looking into their business, you know? Yes. Could be money laundering, could be drugs, could be all sorts of things. And maybe that's why there were so many police turned up, and that's why they let us go, because we weren't the thing that they were more interested in.
That's right.
You know?
I mean, it seemed like as soon as they knew who we were and they knew we weren't criminals, that was it. On your way, wasn't it?
Yeah. Just on your way. That's
And
exactly
they didn't even take my details,
Oh, hang
which
on.
is really strange.
I've got to turn around, yeah. So yeah, so it's a bit of a funny one, but like I say, it's got me out asking a lot of questions. The only other place that's made me feel so like, you know, overreact was like Rudlow Manor, and I was right about that place. And this place, you know, there was a serious overreaction. So therefore, it's got me thinking, like, well, I want to go back and safely, quietly, you know, scope the place out, and I will give you the fruits of my knowledge. And if people in the channel think that, you know, I am what's hurting Urbex, then show me the Urbex rulebook, because I didn't sign up for like the contract of this is what you will do in Urbex, right? I mean, to their own opinions, and they can do it in their own different ways, So show me the rule book of what Urbex is about, right? And then show me the paragraph chapter and which bits of Urbex law have I broken, yeah? Because last time I checked, there ain't no rule book. And the thing is as well, I get pissed off by people with all their billions, and owning half the countryside and acting like lords of the manor, and it's like, get off my land, and it's like, and then out they go with their fox hunting and their this and their that, and it's like, meantime, where are they making their money? They're making their money off child labour, blood money, blood diamonds, blood mines, uranium mining with bloody, asbestos mining in Russia. It's drugs money, dirty, nasty, don't give a shit about people. And then I'm supposed to feel like, maybe I shouldn't be stepping on their property, their poor property, because of their private militia they've hired to keep us out.
That's it, yeah.
Really? I'm supposed to care about that? I don't give a shit about that. The more they don't want us in there, the more I want to know what the hell have they got.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like if you want us to sort of like back off, show us around. Now you've got my interest. Now they just get my interest. So if
I wonder, they're probably watching this right now.
Yeah. Hello, boys. Yeah. We'll be finding out who you are, and we'll be making sure that whoever actually employs you finds out what went on that night. And we'll see whether we can influence a few opinions back at headquarters, boys. Yes. Because you know who I am. You know exactly who I am. So let's find out. Yes. So that was it, basically. I've shot my load, as they say. Sunk my submarine. My dog's like, what? I'm not shouting at you. I'm shouting so they can understand on the microphone, but she thinks I shouted her. I'm not shouted at you. I'm not shouted at you. Yeah. You're a good girl. Yes, you are. You're very good. It's very good. Oh my God! How come we've still got an hour and 15 minutes? What was the last?
Past. So just put a few minutes on this one.
But it's still. But this is a bit of a groundhog because wasn't it like an hour and 18 minutes? But that seemed like that was like 40 minutes ago. Now it's still the same time. This happens to me a lot, but it's like, yeah, I don't know. It's like the time never goes up sometimes. When you're driving through the lanes, middle of nowhere, and it's like you look at the time and it just never ever goes down. These are shitty lanes and roads. These are. It's pretty. Well, it would be pretty if it wasn't raining, but but it's up and down and left and right and thin and fat, and it's like, bloody hell. This really is the back and beyond. See, when we're leaving this place, I think it would be better for us to maybe go away from where we're going, up onto a motorway, come back around, because this squiggly country route that Google has given us, this is just an arse. Yeah. I get the feeling this would be tactily pretty though.
Oh yeah, man.
This is just amazing.
Someone said, let Angel chew on their legs about the security.
Well, yeah.
I mean, they would probably have done that with their dogs, wouldn't they?
Yeah, they threatened. They said, we're going to let our dogs out. We're going to let the dogs out and they'll attack you.
Because when
They said, you do that, mate, and your dog's getting put down.
yeah, that's it. It's weird because when we were hid in the bush, it's like they were pretending they had dogs because they're like, come here, stuff like that. They did have them, I don't know, but I mean, they didn't find us, which they probably would have.
Yeah.
Just sniffed us out straight away.
Yeah. lot of bullshit tactics going on for sure. But like at the very first time we met them in the afternoon, they said like, oh, we've got guns. They gave a list of things they've got that will stop us coming in. We got shotguns, we got thermal imaging, and we got other weapons as well. They said, and I was like, you know, I was just like, really.
It's nice, isn't it? Tracy Jackson said, put a GoPro camera on Angel, the Angel camera.
The only thing I'm thinking with GoPros and things is they could take the memory card out of them and delete it, you know. What you need is something. I'll have a look to see if they've got anything. You know, that you have to tap a number in or a password in to delete the footage, and it's locked into that device. You know, you can wear on you. But if the security guard could rip that off you, they could take the memory card out of it, or they could access the menus and say format and delete the details on the card. So it needs to be something that's, you know, you can't delete it, or live streaming might be the way to go as well. You know, we'll live stream it next time just to show you where they're doing our thing.
I wish I just filmed the whole thing from like the daytime and then back at night. It would have been an awesome video. It would have been crazy.
Sounds apparently. I can't see
Raven's
how
great doing. Oh, Proven Raven. That's who's doing pound.
Raven.
So, hi Matt, Sam and Jess. Hope you're all doing well.
Yeah.
All
Oh,
good.
thank you very much. Thank you. Well, we're supposed to be doing a trip to Paris soon, so hopefully it'll happen, and that money will come in very handy. We will buy nom noms, or these guys can get around on some scooters. So I'll have my own, but we'll have to hire the scooters for these guys. So yes, look at that.
Wow. That's beautiful.
Oh my god. We really are in a very pretty place.
I love it up there. We just stayed up there for over a week, just camping it.
God alive. If only we could tell you where we were right now, because it's really pretty. Be nice to kind of switch the camera on so you can see it, but I just don't think it's a good idea telling people where you're going.
No, that's right.
Because, you know, well, obviously, look, there's sheep. The sheep on the wrong side, they're on the road up here. It's crazy. Pretty, but slowly going down. I'm surprised we're getting a bloody signal. Yeah.
I've got no signal on mine, man.
Really?
Yeah, we're in a local chat.
I'm getting only conversation. Yes, I am an Urbex bad boy and always will be. Deal with it. There are channels out there where you don't have to put up with people like me. Yes. So all the best, guys, and we'll speak to you soon. And thank you to everybody who donated, and those who didn't, thank you as well, because where would we be without our viewers? So nanu, bye. And Jess is in the back, so let Jess say goodbye. Bye. Thanks, guys. And however you finish it. No way. Back to 93 people. How long's it? We're meeting up with Carl, by the way. Carl, Dark Arts Paranormal. Is Natalie going to be there?
Natalie might be there, yeah.
Yes, it's going to be Natalie. Yeah. It's they don't come for us, they just come for my dribbly dog luck. There we are. Yay. So, let's get on our way then. And thanks for watching. And I'll keep this video up because I think I only swore badly 2 or 3 times.